Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Lawoyin. I'm the CEO at Pricepally.com. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been one all my life. Pricepally happens to be my fourth startup. I've been in e-commerce and also edtech, and well, not very much things to say. It's about the business every day. So that's my brief introduction.
Are you talking to me? No, you.
I had done Lucy.ng, which was e-commerce for branded merchandise. It was the last startup before I moved to found Pricepally. Before that, I did passjam.com.ng, which was a test prep site for students preparing for the popular exam called JAM. But I sold that to a competition back then. And before then, I had something to do with food as well, which was called Potato Lagos. It was a partnership with a friend and his wife who used to make the potato and the sauces and all of that. And we sold it using Twitter. It was more like an experiment, but it grew. But I had to leave the company because we could not agree on some principles. So that's like my journey so far. Then right now I'm at Pricepally, building for Pricepally. So I figure that Nigerians generally will be able to relate to the fact that food is very expensive. I witnessed that myself in my family with my wife, and we tried to solve that problem for ourselves. We found a model that works, and we more or less built a technology layer to it, and for people to be able to do the same thing we're able to do. So Pricepally basically enables consumers and even businesses to group buy fresh food and packaged food directly from farmers, wholesalers, and producers. So the main reason Pricepally exists is to shorten the gap between the person producing the food, or the company producing the food, or the farmer producing the food, and the consumer that are eating the food. So that way it enables us build a smarter, we'll be able to build a smarter food system. So currently the food system that serves many African cities is broken. It's cumbersome, it's inefficient. There's a lot of waste in that system. So what we are trying to do is to build a smarter system such that it has less middlemen, for one. It has technology to be able to deliver on promises of freshness, on promises of quality, and more importantly on the promise of a fair price for food. Because as we know, food is very expensive. It is about 70% of a typical Nigerian family goes to food, 70% of their income, which doesn't make sense. Other countries have it as low as less than 10%. So when Nigerians eat food, they have less money to do other important things like buy clothes or, so that's the problem we're trying to solve essentially. And we started on the demand side of things and growing from there to entirely solve this problem. It's actually a very big problem. It's not something we are, solely going to solve. It's through us partnerships, even with other key players in the ecosystem. So that's a brief of what Pricepally is about.
Really?
Do I really care?
So, food is expensive, and once Nigerians see that, once any consumer knows they can get good quality at a fairer price, they usually would try it out, and if it works, they stick. So that's been our story. People have been, responding. We have thousands of customers monthly. And we are, doing good in terms of running it as a business, in terms of profitability and things like that. So the market has responded well, and it keeps responding well because we bring value to customers.
Do you mean you don't give a damn?
Competitors, the open air market is a direct competition to us as we see it. although it's complementary. But we also have, people who sell online. There are a lot of competition. In Nigeria, people are very entrepreneurial. You have quite a number of options in that space, but we try to keep ahead of the competition by delivering on our promises of a fairer price, better quality, and convenience of delivery. So I think that has put us ahead. We are, doing well on our promise to customers. Well, we hope to be able to get on thousands of customers, thousands of employees, because there's a big future ahead. Food is very important, and the population keeps growing. The demand is inelastic. So the more we can, serve more people, the more people will need to serve them. So we are hoping to be able to, create thousands of jobs. Right now, direct jobs that we create is close to 100. We have about 88 staff members. We also have drivers who are partners. But if we look at the total ecosystem of what we are doing now, we have been able to, affect thousands of farmers. People who even serve the farmers, like the agri-extension people as well, get paid because we are promising, we are enabling the farmers sell directly to consumers. So it's, a direct impact. If I speak directly now at our position now, we are creating close to 100 jobs directly from us. But ecosystem, it's a lot more than that, given different partners that we have as farmers, as extension service workers and producers, even wholesalers. It's a big ecosystem we've created. We are in.
But wait a minute.
It's full of challenges. That's why we are doing it. It's nothing easy. You have a lot of planning to do. You have a lot of building to do, basically, because in Nigeria, even as a tech startup, you have to build your own systems. In other climates, you just need to plug into an existing delivery service or an existing supply system and things like that. But in Nigeria, those things are not well organized or even absent. So you have to build those things, which makes our work a lot more harder. So those are real challenges that anybody in this space that wants to win or wants to do something significant would have to face. All sorts of problems, from, I can't start naming them. They come up every day, but the more you solve those problems, the more the company becomes stronger and the more customers are enjoying the reason why we are here.
Shouldn't I care?
Well, so if I speak of the state government, we've gotten support from the state government, Lagos state government, a couple of times in terms of they put out a grant which we applied for, which was related to food security. That was in 2020 or so, because we were very active during COVID to enable people to get food. We were awarded that grant, which was a couple million naira, which really helped us. And more recently, we also won the GITEX 2022 Lagos event, which was organized in conjunction with the Lagos state government. And we were in Dubai just last week to exhibit what we were doing and all of that. And the state government really encouraged and, supported us. But in terms of policies that don't work, you and I are Nigerians, a lot of them, I don't even like talking about it. I just work towards what we are trying to do. So things like high cost of, lack of access to fertilizers for many farmers now is a problem. The high cost of it for those who have access. And those are really basic things that need to be, in place, but it's a big deal. So food is expensive right from the farmer's farm. So it's a complete mess when it comes to looking at what the government's supposed to do in the sector to what is really happening today. It's a complete mess. That's where, that's like the perception out there and even what you see on ground. But I don't think I have further comments. We hope that things get better.
With all these errands, do this, do that.
I'm not even looking at helping us as a business. The basic things like empowering the farmers, like literally doing more than what we see. We hear about all sorts of programs, but the reality doesn't, strike. I've been around many farmers and all that that have never had the support before. If we could really get to the farmers and really get to support them with the money we hear about, a lot of things will change. If these farmers would get just the food system has to be, for example, transportation of food is a big problem, is a factor of like 25% cost on food as it is today. When food gets to Lagos, if it's transported from the north, you are looking at 25 to 30% increase in price because of the cost of that transportation. And it's because this comes by trucks, the roads are bad, things like that. But there's an option of railway. If the government would be able to look in that and really push and focus on fixing the railway for food transportation, they can drastically drop the price of food without, it's not magic. It's not, it's simple, but I don't know. I wouldn't have any, I don't think we have a personal request right now as a company in terms of what the government should do, but if they can enable the environment where we are, then with what we are building, we can secure food for as many Nigerians as possible. We can do a lot more than we are doing now to alleviate the pains of high cost of food, spoilage of food, all those kind of things that really, disturb the system. So that's what I can say.
Every day at home and outside, I hold a duty to self to care. And the way
that motivates me generally is the challenge itself, the importance of the challenge of your hierarchy is food. That's the first thing. So it's important. So that importance of the challenge of the problem is what keeps me going. The future I'd like to see for myself, for my company, for my friends, for Nigeria also drives me. In terms of role models, every successful local businessman in Nigeria I can glean from one way or the other, is a role model. Dangote has been able to, Mr. Aliko Dangote has been able to build a, super efficient businesses, that are serving the real critical needs. So someone like that is, a role model. Tony Melu has built UBA. He had a very super transition from his former bank to what it is now. He did really excellent work. So people like that are role models, but I don't have them like a list. I, just know about them and, try to study them, look at what they did. That's really cool. And if I meet them in person, I, let them know. But I don't really have like a top 10 list or something in that regard. But those are like people I look up to. Even people outside of Nigeria, Steve Jobs, before he died, built, something significant that left a dent in the tech world. So people like that, people with achievements like that, are people who inspire me as well.
I'm here. Why I'm here.
I can live in other countries. I was in Dubai a couple of weeks ago. It looks like it's a lot saner than here. Things are working, things like that. I could want that to work from there and keep solving the problem, but not like I'm leaving Nigeria to go and start another business in some other part of the world. No, the problems are here. We have not gotten some basic things right, and the rewards to get those things right is huge. I can't go and start fixing food in the US. It's already fixed. So it's where the problem is that, so I don't see myself doing that jackpot thing. No, it's not in my roadmap. Long term, we are looking to be in at least 10 cities in Africa by 2025. We're already in 3 in Nigeria. We expect to be in 2 more by next year. At some point, sooner or later, we want to reach $1 million in revenue monthly. That's like our next target to where we are currently. So yeah, we want to grow this so that people can, the difference can, only in minute, we have just thousands of customers currently. We need to push that to 10,000 and, the numbers ahead of us. But the growth has been exceptional. We've been growing 30% month on month. We've been adding customers, a lot of them through referrals, people telling them that they got value here and they come to us. So it's been, the growth has been phenomenal, but there's a lot more space for us to take. So it's still not a big deal right now. In Nigeria, you have your work cut out for you 5 times. So you need a lot of perseverance. You need a lot of patience and still, speed. You also need to be fast at the same time at which you need to be patient. Be patient for some things you can't change because you're in Nigeria. Then be fast to change the things you can to your advantage. You also need to be very considerable of the environment and, play fair, basically. That's, a lot of people take advantage of the system, like selling at ridiculous prices or making ridiculous gains, things like that. I think we hold the responsibility to play it as fair as possible because you're in the system where everybody's facing a lot of issues. So, keep at it. There'll be very many times you want to give up. Keep at it as long as it works. If it doesn't work, you can quickly pivot and do something else. There are a lot of problems in Nigeria today. So that's about the ideas. Ideas on advice I have.
Something really wrong with my generation. Are we too young to leave?
Yeah, in some opinions we're lazy, doors are clueless, timid and coward.
Not measuring up to the good old days. Like yesterday's ingenuity of Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein,
and Thomas Edison that shaped today.
The leadership of Gandhi, Nkrumah, Mother Teresa, Abraham Lincoln, Nelson Mandela,
and Martin Luther King, who had a dream.
The bravery of Fumila Kuti, Bob Marley,
Can we fella showing him